Diddy and other Hollywood elites are now being linked to the ongoing wildfires in LA, with fans noticing that Diddy's house appears to have been left completely untouched by the blaze. Was Diddy involved in a cover-up related to the fires in LA, and what is his connection to government officials?
Sean Diddy Combs' Los Angeles mansion has been spared from the rampant flames engulfing the ritzy neighborhoods where several high-profile celebrities live. The flames have left 24 Californians dead, decimated 40,300 acres of land, and wrecked more than 12,300 structures. But the disgraced rapper's 17,000 square foot home, closely located to the chaos, has remained unscathed. The lavish house in Holmby Hills sits just outside of the Palisades fire's path, but has not been damaged by the disaster. Many celebrities who live in or near the Pacific Palisades area have been forced out of the neighborhoods. Anthony Hopkins, Paris Hilton, and John Goodman are just among the stars whose stunning mansions have been reduced to ash and rubble. As LA continues to battle these fires, Combs sits in his jail cell at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center as he awaits trial. He faces a slew of charges including trafficking, racketeering, and conspiracy. Some have even made baseless claims that the fires may have been started to cover up Diddy's alleged sex crimes and protect any allies he may have left.
I think for the industry, times of crisis have always been good for the entertainment industry. Not that I'm saying any crisis is good, no, but I think people want, they want to be entertained during those times, and they like escapism and just things for pure entertainment.
In the aftermath of the wildfires in LA, reports and video footage have surfaced showing individuals allegedly setting fires, with some believed to be involved in arson. There are even claims that these suspects have been handed over to the police, yet the authorities have refused to press charges. Actor and director Mel Gibson has commented that the situation feels pre-planned, pointing to the decrease in firefighter funding and the lack of water in fire hydrants. Despite suspects being caught on tape setting fires, they aren't facing charges and are simply being released. With so many people losing their homes and lives in these fires, the question remains, why isn't a thorough investigation being carried out?
A third arrest that is coming. There's two that's already down. The world is going to crumble when they see this next arrest. In the meantime, there's going to be deaths, distractions, and fires to hide evidence. Watch for it, ask questions, demand answers.
And apparently the residents in Corral Canyon caught an arsonist up there. And the guy was all tooled up with fire gear and equipment and stuff like that, ready to go. And he had been lighting fires, but they corralled the guy in Corral Canyon and gave him to the police. So
yeah,
there
apparently
are people actively going around looking for these conditions.
Yeah, apparently, Mel, that individual was never charged. It's a very confusing set of facts because apparently he was reportedly trying to light things on fire, but it's not the fires, I guess, that they are. I mean, it all seems very bizarre, but they have not ruled out that arson could have started the first fire. There's obviously still investigating this, and at the same time, Mel, there are numerous complaints, as you alluded to, that the fire hydrants did not have water or water pressure, and the LA fire chief herself reacted. Watch this.
My stance on this is when a firefighter comes up to a hydrant, we expect there's going to be water. We don't control the water supply. Our firefighters are there to protect lives and property and to make sure that we're properly trained and equipped. That's my position on this. So if there's no water, I don't know how the water gets to the hydrants.
Mel, reaction to that?
Well, I know they were messing with the water, letting reserves go for one reason or another. They've been doing that a while. California has a lot of problems that sort of baffle the mind as far as why they do things. And then in the events like this, you sort of look, oh, is it on purpose? Which it's an insane thing to think. But one begins to ponder whether or not there is a purpose in mind. What could it be? I don't know. Do they want the state empty? I don't know.
Well, Mel, there's already talk, and we played a couple of sound bites of reimagining the way rebuilding occurs. And obviously there's a great need for high density housing in California and across the country. That's a big push by the climate folks. And you're already hearing rumblings of that. In this case, like goodbye single family homes, hello high density housing.
Yeah. It's pretty scary, and it'll take decades to do that too. It's like even if it if it's a good idea, which I don't know if it is, but reminds me of the old cattle barons clearing people off the land. But I don't know. I can make all kinds of horrible theories up in my head, conspiracy theories and everything else, but it just seemed a little convenient that there was no water, and and that the wind conditions were right, and that there are people ready and willing and able to start fires. And are they commissioned to do so, or are they just acting on their own volition? I don't know. But they seem pretty well equipped, some of these people that they're catching.
A lot of questions. A lot of questions.
Firefighters have been warning for years that something like this could happen. But with everything unfolding now, it's starting to look like arson may be involved. One key question is how Ally Carter, a victim of Diddy, allegedly predicted months ago that there would be a wildfire. In the past, during a wildfire in Leh, Oprah's house was notably left untouched while the surrounding properties were destroyed. Is it just a coincidence that each time a wildfire strikes, the mansions of Hollywoodalites seem to survive while everyone else's homes are destroyed?
Felt like it could fall apart at any moment. It was always like, I was always waiting for the next earthquake or the next fire. I was evacuated 3 times from my house from fires. Yeah. Last one, 2 houses in front of my house burnt to the ground. Right in front of my house.
What the f?
Yeah, the wildfires were crazy.
Yeah, it's scary, right?
Scary. When you see them coming, I came home from the Comedy Store. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning, and me and my wife were looking out the window at the fire coming over the hill. And we made an early call. We said, look, if we're wrong, we'll come back. The house is still here, but let's just get the out of here now. I'm like, that's too close. They weren't evacuating yet. I'm like, let's get out of here. And so we got all of our shit, and we got a hotel in Beverly Hills. And then next thing you know, it swept through our neighborhood.
That's horrible.
It burnt 40 houses in my neighborhood.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, it was crazy. It was weird, man. And when you see the walls of flame that are from the left to the right, everywhere you can see is flames. You see houses going up. It's spooky, man. It's spooky like a horror movie. I talked to a fireman once. He was telling me, he goes, dude, one day, he goes, it's just going to be the right wind, and fire's going to start in the right place, and it's going to burn through LA all the way to the ocean, and there's not a thing we can do about it. I go, really? He goes, yeah, we just get lucky. He goes, we get lucky with the wind. He goes, but if the wind hits the wrong way, it's just going to burn straight through LA, and there's not going to be a thing we can do about it. Because these fires are so big, dude. When you're talking about like thousands of acres that are burning simultaneously with like 40-mile-an-hour winds. And the wind's just blowing embers through the air, and those embers are landing on roofs, and those houses are going up, and they're landing on bushes, and those bushes are going up, and everything's dry. And once it happens in a way where it's so spread out that there's nothing they can do. There's nothing they can do.
You just have to evacuate, right?
Nothing.
Let's not forget that for decades, California refused to file charges against Diddy, despite rumors of his involvement in various illegal activities. He even discussed some of these on live TV, yet no one could touch him. It wasn't until the Southern District of New York filed a lawsuit against him that the feds raided his Miami mansion. Interestingly, the mayor of New York, who was close friends with Diddy and had just given him the key to the city weeks before the lawsuit, was part of this scenario. Was it a coincidence, or was Diddy using Mayor Adams to boost his public image ahead of his arrest?
And once they find the criminal activity in those, they could bring them in. Now, did the Federal Bureau of Investigation in Miami do it? No, they didn't. Did California do it? No, they did not. The Southern District of New York, they took it upon themselves and put on that raid and everything based on the information they found in Cassie lawsuit and the information they found in Little Rod lawsuit. But all this is bigger than Diddy. It's bigger than Diddy, bro. Because you know who else they was doing investigation on during that whole time period? It was the mayor and the politicians in New York City. They turn around and give him the key to the city. All the mayor people that he brought on here in New York City are all resigning. They all resigning. People ain't gonna tie this together, but if you look at it, you have to say, because of Mayor Adams and his relationship with Diddy, it brought on the Southern District of New York to start investigating Diddy on civil lawsuits that was put against him. Because the feds is going after all these politicians in New York City.
Yeah, the feds revealed that, anybody that, participated in any, criminal behavior at his freak-offs, they're going to pursue.
Listen here. The mayor here take like 15 spoons of sugar in his coffee. So it's all a possibility.
Do you think there's any celebrities on those tapes?
Bro, he gave celebrity parties. So what you think?
Since entering prison, Diddy has reportedly been trying to reach out to people to do his bidding, with the prosecution even catching him trying to threaten individuals. For someone like Diddy, who still has connections to criminals on the outside, it makes sense that he might attempt to use these ties to divert attention away from himself. In the past month alone, two of Diddy's most powerful allies, Jay-Z and J-Lo, have been named in civil lawsuits, which raises the possibility that figures like them could be involved in orchestrating these efforts.
That the judge was going to allow him to be bonded out on the first get-go. Now, if he comes up with some more hearings, he might be released. But based on the evidence, they've been following him, bro. They've been tapping his phone, been having people watch him. You understand? He been coming back and forth from New York, and he don't usually be coming back to New York. And somebody was telling me that, listen here, he trying to get witnesses. Remember when they released that first thing of Cassie, and I said that Diddy was trying to contact people for character witnesses, people for who he had problems with before, whatever like that, and trying to talk to them in the whole 9 yards. That's when they dropped that thing with Cassie. The Homeland Security had some agency or whatever like that that deals with that, dropped that thing on Cassie to show everybody, oh, y'all want to help him? Y'all, this is what y'all want to help? This is who y'all want to, say that he ain't never did nothing. This is what you want to put your brand on? And everybody start backing up from him. Everybody was talking about, yo, man, Cassie was a gold digger. Cassie was this, that, and the third. She loved it in the whole 9 yards. And then when they seen that, all his friends or so-called friends, went away. So him not having a bond is not surprising.
Yeah, and he offered them $50 million, and they still denied his bond.
He should have waited to see what they was going to offer. Because if he got $50 million to get him and offer that, then they think like, yo, that's too little of a money.
It's important to consider the powerful people Diddy has in his corner. Over the years, Diddy has built connections and gathered compromising information on some of the world's most influential figures, including former presidents, senators, British royalty, and even billionaires. Jane Deal has confirmed much of this, and there are reports suggesting that Diddy attempted to destroy evidence stored in homes in Leh. Allegedly, these homes belonged to celebrities who possessed information that could be used against him. Some of these properties were reportedly burned in the recent fires.
It's been like a week, you knowing Diddy, you being around Diddy. Could you ever imagine that his houses would get raided for sex trafficking?
Bro, you can't imagine no stuff like that. You understand? You can't think that because back then he wasn't Brother Love. He was Puffy. All the way up until he became Diddy. So his behavior over the years has changed. And the behavior that he shows now and that he has shown by being Brother Love, I couldn't imagine that the police would be raiding him for sex trafficking. Nah, bro. I couldn't imagine that. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't him back then. He's a totally different person than he became. If you've seen him on other platforms, you know, inviting men to party with him, inviting men to go shopping with him. You understand? That wasn't Puffy. That wasn't Diddy. That was Brother Love and Love.
How you feel about all the people that's wondering why haven't any of Diddy big name friends came out to defend him?
Because either two things that I believe. Either they know some of the stuff is true, either they took part in some of the stuff that happened, or they scared that it may mess up their brand. See, nobody wants to be in contact with anybody that allegedly was sex trafficked. You see what the WWF did to Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon was one of those people that was called for sex trafficking. We don't hear a lot about it.
50 Cent has been closely observing everything happening behind the scenes for years, collecting information against Diddy along the way. This is what he meant when he said that his upcoming docuseries won't focus on the media's headlines. Instead, it will expose the web of lies and conspiracies that have been unfolding behind closed doors. A statement released by his company reads, "This is a story with significant human impact, a complex narrative spanning decades, not just the headlines or clips seen so far. We remain committed to giving a voice to the voiceless and presenting authentic, nuanced perspectives."
Speaking of, in particular, Netflix docuseries that you've been working on, Diddy Do It.
Right.
You've been saying for years that you feel you knew Diddy's character.
Right.
Yet you said you weren't a part of that lifestyle, you weren't going to the parties. So what makes you so absolutely sure that these kinds of allegations that we've seen against him are true?
Well, I'm surprised by the allegations, as surprised as everyone else is. Like, I didn't make the allegations, I didn't tell people to say these things. It comes out, I see it in the news like everyone else, but I did feel uncomfortable with the way he would present the idea of going to these projects.
To come party with me.
Yeah. And then that swayed me away from it, just that alone.
So you didn't realize
as much stuff was coming. Like, when I seen today, it was allegations of 3 men that said he drugged them. And it's a long time, to be honest with you. Like, when people don't remember being violated for 20 years, it makes me feel a little hard.
What are your thoughts on the allegations against Jay-Z?
That was interesting. When I was saying things, not knowing exactly what I was saying, I was going, where's Jay at? He's mad quiet. Like, while the Puffy thing was going on. But it's obvious now that his team was being made aware that he was in those allegations also. You know, so I hope it works out, because with his family, the things that go on internally is that those accusations are crazy.
Fox News has obtained credible information suggesting that Diddy's friends may be turning on him and could be preparing to testify against him. In a recent episode of the PBD podcast, Fox News host Jesse Waters revealed that he had received reports indicating that Ashton Kutcher had agreed to testify in the upcoming federal case against Diddy and was planning to relocate to Europe afterward.
In the lawsuit that came out, and this was used for blackmail material. They bring in these people. A lot of these people were also aspiring young artists in the music industry. And then these parties were sponsored by Motown Records CEO, Universal Records CEO. This goes all the way to the top. And so you get these people in compromising situations. The drinks were laced, the videotapes were hot. And then at the end of the day, you wake up the next morning, what did I do? And then they have compromising material on you. And then they can guide your career. They could kill your career, but they got you. And it wasn't just people in the music business. As you said, there were athletes, there were celebrities, there were politicians, people from the royal family. And we were also told by the former bodyguard that Diddy was an FBI informant. So he was a snitch and was feeding information to the feds. And we don't know what that means. We haven't been able to confirm it, but even Little Rod said it's not just like Epstein. It could be worse than Jeffrey Epstein.
Gene Deal has stated that Diddy has managed to gain control over some of the most powerful people in the country, and that much of this may have been part of a planned conspiracy. Some of Diddy's victims even predicted the wildfires, which raises questions about his influence. Diddy was known for gaining leverage over those who could potentially challenge him, using them as a backup plan. It seems now that this plan is being put into action, with Diddy doing everything in his power to protect himself. Gene Deal has also reported that everyone, from pastors and politicians to athletes, was reportedly under Diddy's influence.
How many friends he have and nobody came out?
They brand. It's all about the money. They saw what he did to Cassie. With the kicking, the punching. They saw what they did to Cassie. They know did nobody in America like that. So now, these people are represented by a brand. Whether it's something about the music, clothing, movies, they're not gonna come out and speak on nothing that has anything to do with them. And they praying that they not on the tape doing crazy stuff, being oiled up in the whole 9 yards. They praying. So until the feds say, hey, yo, listen here. We got you on, hey buddy, we got you on this tape, and girl looked like she was pretty young. We're not gonna show it, but we need you to come and testify against Brother Love, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, you know, Sean Combs. That's when they're gonna start talking. And they're not gonna be talking in his favor. When the feds come to them and show them what they got on tape, because if he had 250 tapes all over, 250 cameras all over the house, somebody got caught stealing the cookie out the cookie jar. It could be your favorite pastor. It could be your favorite politician. But they didn't think they was being watched. And Brother Love was watching.
Yeah, I mean, TD Jakes, he haven't even came out and said anything. And him and Diddy was real cool.
Amen. Amen. Yeah, man. And I know the people in the congregation over there is shaking in their boots because this man then led them probably, allegedly probably led them to damnation, because those people's hearts are going to be broken if that man is seen on those tapes doing anything. Because people always put their faith in the pastor instead of putting their faith in God. And what they need to do is understand that he's just a man. And he has a history. It's not looking too good for him.
So you feel like celebs are worried that they might be on tape?
Oh, they know. That's why they ain't speaking up or saying nothing. Yeah, I was at a Diddy party, but I know I ain't do nothing. When you don't know somebody's taping you, when you don't know that somebody is videoing you in some kind of form or fashion, you got that alcohol, you got the drugs in you, they're a little loose, bro. They let down all their inhibitions. The music is pumping. He said it himself. He got it so hot in there that you gotta take your clothes off. He said that himself, bro.
This isn't the first time Diddy has been linked to serious criminal activity. In May 2018, Trump's National Doral Golf Course in Miami was forced to close due to a shooting incident. The suspect, Jonathan I., later claimed during an interrogation that he had been controlled and manipulated. He stated that Diddy had been using him as a sex slave and that the Hollywood mafia had been coercing him into committing crimes.
Diddy and Ross, which they good buddies, okay? They're gay.
Who?
Both. Diddy and Ross. And Khaled, they're all gay. Okay?
DJ Khaled, Rick Ross, and P. Diddy?
Yeah.
They all gay?
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
Khaled is a Hamas supporter. Okay?
Who supporter?
Hamas.
Hamas. Yeah.
Sorry, I said it wrong.
No worries.
Hamas supporter. Okay? I had sex with Cassie and Sean. Basically, he would masturbate, tell me what to do with Cassie. I had like 15 encounters, and I heard lots.
Hidden in plain sight.
It's hidden in sight.
I think I see what you're saying.
Okay, how do I know this?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. How do you know this?
The timing of these events seems too coincidental. Ex-federal prosecutor Naima Ramani recently stated that more celebrities would likely be sued in connection with Diddy, and that it was only a matter of time before additional names became involved. Now, all attention has shifted toward this unfolding situation.
So that's that. Now, as far as Jay-Z's concerned, this could really go one of two ways. This might be an isolated one-off case that he has to defend, or potentially it could be a Me Too type situation where other victims come forward. Obviously, we saw that with Diddy and Cassie Ventura. So the coming days and weeks are really going to be telling. And Tony Busby says he has more than 100, maybe up to 300 victims he's representing. So it's going to be interesting to see if any of them also name Jay-Z.
And Nima, if such a high-profile name like Jay-Z has come out, could more celebrity names be tied to these lawsuits? What do you think we can expect?
No question. This may just be the first celebrity domino, and Jay-Z was unmasked as celebrity A, but let's not forget there's a celebrity B in that same lawsuit that allegedly witnessed the sexual assault, a female celebrity. And there was someone who went on CNN earlier this week and said that his sexual assault was witnessed by another celebrity as well. So I think we're going to see more celebrity names identified very soon.
All right, Naima Rani, thank you so much for joining us. As you said, this is one that has entered the court of public opinion. It's nice to have your actual legal advice on this one.
Whether it's arson cover-ups or strategic manipulation, there's no denying that the pieces of this puzzle are becoming increasingly dark and sinister. What do you think about these revelations? Is Diddy really pulling the strings behind the scenes, or is this all just a coincidence? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like this video.